Hi out there, welcome to the show. This is the second video in this compelling series on the course on your WhatsApp, how to relate and release your personal perception. I hope you enjoy video 1 and you have submitted your assignment. My name is James Komolafe from the School of Articulation and Behavioral Alignment Resources, also known as SABA Resources. And in SABA Resources, it is all about your full expression for efficiency and productivity. Welcome to the show. In this second video, we shall be discussing 5 issues with the topic, how to understand and enjoy your perception. When you understand it, then you can enjoy the processes. There are 6 lessons here today. 1, appreciating the gift of perception. 2, what are the 10 major factors affecting the flow of your perception? 3, what's the frank truth about perception? 4, what's the journey perception takes from start to finish? And then 5, what are the 21 critical issues about the reality of your perception? And then finally, we'll take the quiz for the day. Appreciating your perception. The first stuff. Perception is the force of life binding you to the society relative to who you are as far as your senses and your personal conviction is from the inside. In perception, you are the one in the saddle of responsibility given your level of maturity. Perception realities are the processes and the procedures that you go through inside you in order to come out with definite answers to issues of life around you, given your calculations. So you see, in perception, income of thoughts, imaginations, opinions, and view delivers outcome of result in certain convictions. So in ascertaining a situation, they have processes that thought through the mind, and whatever is given to your mind is what is processed back to you through the cooperation with your heart. So it is important that you allow for the flow of your internal faculties and resources so as to come out with cogent decision in the issues of life. Perception has 10 major factors affecting it each time. 1 is nature, your biology, how you were born, the traits and the characteristics you took from your parents are all important in determining your own personal perception. 2 is nurture. How did you grow up? Geography is important. The place where you grow up, the community has a whole lot to talk about. Your procedures, your nurture. Where were you nurtured? That counts a whole lot. Then 3 is culture. What are the interactions you have had and where? Who were the people around your life for circle of influence? It matters a whole lot. Number 4 is scripture. And that talks about the God factor, your religious inclinations and sentiments. Your spirituality matters a whole lot. They also determine how you process your perception. Then posture is number 5. Your physical effort, they matter a whole lot because repetitive activities can create a certain tendency for you. Number 6 is future. What are your personal ideologies and personal beliefs? that hold so strong in your mind and in your life. They have a way of determining how you come out with your own result. 7 is puncture. What are certain pollutions, additions that you have allowed and permitted in your own life that is determining how you behave, what you do, and how you do things? Number 8 is composure, and that talks about your personal comportment. The way you carry yourself matters a whole lot in the game of perception. And then number 9, temperature. Your personal energy lifestyle is critical here. Whether your mood is low or high is a product of your temperature. Very vital. Not just as far as physical is concerned, but your mood, your emotions. Very vital. Then 10 is your viewpoint. How do you see things? How do you view life? It can also determine how you come out with certain issues as far as perception is concerned. So what's the third lesson we are picking today is the frank truth about your perception. Your perception only answers to the resources you feed it for result. So like the computer language, it is garbage in, garbage out. Know that you cannot be greater or higher than the value of your personal value system, cooperating with your external environment. So what do you hold so dear in your mind and in your heart? Where is your place of importance that determines the urgency and the authority you communicate over issues around your life? That communicates your sense of value. So your value system and your environment determines a whole lot how you are able to process issues and what you come out with on various occasions as answers, for which we call perception. So in this instance, a procedure is completed within you and packaged for action without you so that you can manage well in life. So what's the fourth lesson today? The journey of perception from start to finish. Life is a journey, so also is perception. Every genuine perception passes through certain steps that serve as test and a time to take definite consideration that will eventually turn what people might call accident into mere incidences. And in so doing, your perception from the start to the finish goes through 10 processes. The first one is called consideration. And this is where you take the issue and you think round about it. You consider it through creative thinking. Step number 2 is called consciousness. Usually you close your eyes as you think. And what happens? It begins to drop into your mind and you begin to analyze in your mind. That's the level of consciousness. Then the third level is the level of conversation. So you are conscious of it, you start interacting with yourself inside. And ideas will begin to generate, thoughts will begin to flow, imaginations begins to develop. That is conversation. And from there, conversion result, which is step number 4. This is the point where your mind is beginning to get convinced about the issue at stake so that you can draw certain conclusions. Number 5 is confidence. Your confidence level begins to rise. You develop a sense of worth and your assurance begins to promote a situation of self-esteem within you over that decision you are about taking. Then, number 6 is conviction. This is where you begin to make declarations from your inside, overwhelming you and taking the space so that step 7, which is commitment, can come forward. And what is it? a decision that is backed up by certain agenda for which you want to consider and start running will start happening within you. And number 8 is consummation. You follow it up with a process to ensure that finality is reached so that your initial expectation can be realized. And then number 9 is credentials. You begin to look for how it has worked, where is the credit. You begin to consider those things. And then last but not the least is the caution. Look at where to cross your T's and dot your I's. Where do you need to improve and balance things up? You begin to consider things like that. So as an individual, you are responsible and answerable to the outcomes of your daily realities. And that is why we are going to the last session, which is the 21 things you need to know in creating your daily realities in life. Life should not be an accident. You should create your day, each passing moment. So what are the 21 things you need to know? Number 1, that your mind is the mental laboratory that processes all the issues based on the level of depth you have per time. So your mind processes everything for you in cooperation with your heart. 2, you are the one in charge, not someone else. So please learn to keep your guard from your mind. Take responsibility where necessary and be yourself. Point number 3, the mind will never reject anything that is given to it over time. So develop appreciably in order to develop and deliver qualitatively. So invest in your mind. Very important. Number 4, the mind will put to use anything that is supplied to it in order to come out with the adequate outcomes. So please assume every authority you need. 5, input for the processing, create the eventual outcome as output. So work in cooperation with all your faculties, your will, your desire, your emotion, your drive, your thoughts, your feelings, and your imaginations are all important when it comes to arriving at a decision. So please learn to participate in your own world as a person. Number 6, your processing and prospecting from within is based on the level of understanding you have per time. So please learn to develop yourself, because you cannot release more than what you have on the inside. 7, there is a mingling of values, issues, ideals, and personal philosophies from your inside to cooperate with your external carriage. So participate very effectively. 8, every interpretation and outcomes mixes up with your 4 lanes of energy: the spiritual energy, energy that connects your heart to God; the mental energy, energy that connects your mind to your focuses in life; the emotional energy, energy that interprets issues and solves problems; physical energy, energy of the body that takes charge of your exercises, the pattern of sleep protocol, and your balanced diet. So please get involved. Then number 9, know the fact that these 4 energies communicate their perspective to you in processing your perception. So you need to borrow from them and take their own contribution while you are processing. Number 11, the settlement so donated to you creates new perspective for which you will never must be rigid in life. You need to learn to be flexible if you must flow in the graces and virtues of your perception. Number 13, this status goes ahead to create the feelings in your bodies and systems. So learn to enjoy it and learn to stay positive. Number 15, You conclude on those issues as decisions. So please learn to celebrate your own decisions. And number 16, you opt for the best, even in all these conclusions, and take your resolution based on them. Act on them unfailingly. Number 18, passion is stimulated as a consequence. So learn to flow with your passion. Flow with it all of the time, because that's the consequence of it. When you deploy your passion, you have greater output in your perception. Number 19, they will act on it through the accompanied motivation in order to create the reality that you truly desire. Just as you have viewed it inside, you can watch it play out on the outside. So let your will be submissive to it. And what is that will? The power of your own determination over a cause of conviction inside you. So learn to believe it. Then number 20, what is seen is either accepted or rejected as an opinion formed by others. Don't deny it. Stand by it, because that's the procedure that came out of you based on who you are and what you have inside. 21, actions and inactions elicit certain responses that will certainly create a new shift for you. So these 21 issues are critical about your personal perception. Know them, work with them, and they will cooperate with you. So what's the final word in this class today? Build yourself all right. Take the front seat of your own life. Steer the ship to the harbor. Depend solely on the nudging of your personal perception. Take cogent decision based on your conviction per time, knowing the fact that you are the one who decides per time. So be responsible. Stop the blame game wherever it applies. And you know what? Posterity will reward what is coming out of you as perception, as you create your daily realities. Thank you so very much. Before we are done, what are the questions for you to answer within 4 days, as you know? Number 1, how will you appreciate the gift of perception? Question number 2, in the 10 major factors affecting perception, where do you have a challenge? Would like to know so that we can support your effort. Question 3, as frank truth about perception resources occurs, what is your plan to deepen the strength of your perception? And question 4, in the journey of perception from your outside to the inside or otherwise, where do you normally encounter difficulty? We want to know to support you. And lastly, creating your daily realities involve your conscious participation. Can you discuss this a bit? It is very vital that you know that you have to submit this assignment between now and 4 days. I hope you have been impacted by this second video. Thank you so very much, as we expect to hear from you soon. Have a great day out there. Cheers.